Hi, I'm Martin Dorfman from Cataclysmic Science, and this is part 3 of our data analysis and presupposition series. Please check out the previous two parts to understand what's happening here in this part 3. Now, we spoke about the presuppositions and worldview, the foundation upon which you stand. In archaeology, when you look at ancient civilizations, data that you discover and how you interpret them. Now you stand on either one of these presuppositions. There was the Genesis group, there was the Mysticism group, and then the Darwinian evolution group. I believe that's the three foundational groups, or worldview groups that there are from which they interpret their data. Now, previously in part 1, we explained the Genesis group's paradigm tool that we constructed. Part 2, we explained the Mysticism or New Age group's paradigm tool that we constructed. And then in this episode, we're going to quickly look at the Darwinian evolution paradigm tool that they use in the back of their mind to interpret data. Now, again, we need the sources for our timelines, we need geological mechanisms, and we can look at population numbers. Not that important in this part 3. Now, the sources for this Darwinian evolution worldview is basically, I'd say, James Hutton, Charles Lyell, Charles Darwin, James Hutton in the 1700s had some geological ideas about the Earth. Charles Lyell wrote a book called The Principles of Geology, where he looked at the layers and created the idea of uniformitarianism. Charles Darwin, he went to the Galapagos Islands and looked at the birds and created the idea of the evolutionary biology and changing species. So the worldview that they come up with is that humanity used to be this monkey ape-like creature. There's the famous Lucy up there in the corner in the picture, and people were like that and came out of Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago and moved all over the world and changed into different monkey groups and this type of lineage of humanity. Now, the geological mechanism that they rely on is uniformitarianism, which say the present is the key to the past, the way things are today is how it's always been. And so if we look at this picture here, you can clearly see what I try to explain. So they look at the layers. This is in the Grand Canyon, I believe. They look at the layers, and the uniformitarianism model say all those layers, different colors, the textures, just lay there for millions of years. Between every layer, there's millions of years of just weathered mountain soil and stardust that accumulate upon it and build up on that, and that's how they see the world is millions and billions of years old. They say the layers take time, versus the catastrophism concept from the other worldview says, oh, this is liquefaction through hydrogeological or hydrological sorting. Just to understand the difference of interpreting the geological model. So for the intelligence of the ancient civilizations, they believe for hundreds of thousands of years not really any intelligence there, and then the last 5,000 years people became smarter, rise of civilizations, and today we are smart. That's why they call us what they call humanity Homo sapiens sapiens, which has something to do with the wise of the wise. Population growth also used to be low, and then 5,000 years BC, humanity started increasing its populations. The geological mechanism is, again, like I said, it's the uniformitarianism idea of just stardust accumulating, nothing really happens, slow plate tectonics, and then they used the idea of magnetic reversals in the ocean floor showing ocean floor spreading and millions of years for continents to drift apart with the Pangea theory, plate tectonics idea. And nothing really cataclysmic happens except for 65 million years ago. So there was a meteorite that struck that killed off the dinosaurs by changing the atmosphere conditions. That's what most of the theories in that worldview suggest. Now, yeah, all three of them are going to superimpose it, and that's their archaeological paradigm tool that they use when they look at data and what they have in the back of their minds. So here we have all three archaeological paradigm tools from the three different foundational groups. Their worldviews, when they look at the same data, so people from these three groups, they will look at the same data and in the back of their mind rationalize based on those paradigm tools that I just built in this three-part series, and analyze the data according to that foundations. That's the presupposition that they have in the back of their mind, and how they look at this archaeological data, and that helps them, these worldviews, to interpret their data. Yeah, I hope that is clear. Please let me know if you didn't understand anything, if I didn't articulate it well. Thank you.